Hello, my fellow pin enthusiasts. I've got another one of these pin news videos, and I've been trying to decide what I want to name this video series. So I decided pin news would kind of be along that idea. So kind of thought I would go with that. Now I'm going to switch it up a little bit this week. So before I was showing some of my pin mail stuff that I got in the mail. So I'm going to say that for the end of the video. So we're basically just going to jump right into what the point of the video is for. So that way, if you don't want to see that other stuff, you can stay tuned to the end of the video. But let's get it rolling. So the first pin that I have is actually, if you follow Bobby Pins on Instagram, and I'll post a link in the description of the video if you want to follow him if you aren't already, but it's just simply office_supplies_pin is his Instagram account. He posted a really cool video on there. It's been probably a bit over a week or so, and Wing Sung has been really kind of quiet this year, you could say, comparatively speaking to like Penbbs and Moonman and all the things that they've been doing. Wing Sung, yes, they've launched some new colors with their 626 line as well as their 601, but really haven't really seen a lot of other stuff. But it does look like they're coming out with a vacuumatic fountain pen. And I thought that was really neat. Now, I'm going to post a couple images. So the first one I have, this is actually screenshots off the video that he loaded. And I apologize, not the best images. But here's the first one. And you can actually see Bobby. This is Bobby, I'm assuming, Bobby using the pen possibly. And so he's pulling the vacuum rod all the way back. Of course, we can tell it's a transparent pen. The other thing about it is it definitely looks as though, and I think in the comment section it speaks to that the nib is going to be that pilot styled nib and feed. So you potentially, you could put a pilot nib in this pen if you wanted to. Let's pop another image up here. So here we actually see him using a bottle of ink to fill the pen. Again, it's fully transparent, so I actually like that. Now I know some of you would rather have a pen that had maybe more acrylic colors to it. If you're not a big transparent pen fan, this probably wouldn't be a pen that would interest you. Or if you just aren't a big fan of vacuumatics in general. I'll pop one last image up here. Here's kind of, so you can see the pen as he was just putting the pen in the ink. Again, these aren't the best images, so I do apologize. Now, what makes this pen really cool, in my opinion, is the fact that, according to Bobby, it's going to be under $10. And I think that price is amazing. So if you haven't been wanting to spend the money on the Penbbs 456 or potentially other vacuum fillers with other pens, this might be a good option for you. You know, we'll have to wait to see what the quality of the pen is. But honestly, I really haven't had any Wing Sung pens in general that have had extremely poor quality. I have not personally. Yes, you're going to get problems like you would with any fountain pen, but I feel like it should be a pretty good quality. So as of the time that I'm recording this video, this pen has not been released. So I don't even know for sure yet what the model number is. If anyone is watching this video, you already know what the model number is going to be. Please comment down below, so that way the rest of us will know. And then hopefully Bobby's able to get this listed on his Etsy/eBay site soon. So, and I'm sure he'll let everybody know once he does that. So again, very cool pick, or very cool pen. Now we're gonna move on to another Bobby pen, and I'm gonna post this up. Again, not the best image. This is actually a screenshot. So again, I do kind of apologize, but I thought these were kind of neat. If you're a big fan of Penbbs pens, this might be a pen or a couple pens that might speak to you. So it looks like, and I'm sorry, I'm getting a little closer, but it looks like it's going to be more of a custom pen. Now, Bobby did put in his comments down below that the nib size is a number 5 nib. And of course, it looks like the acrylic, so we have that autumn color, and then we have that kind of dark charcoal gray color, and I can't remember the name of that color, and I know it's probably in the description. But we have two different colors there. I like the fact that they're a clipless design, and sometimes having a clipless fountain pen is I think kind of neat. It's a cigar shaped pen, so I just thought it would be nice to share this pen. I don't know for sure how much it's gonna cost yet. I haven't seen it listed in his Etsy or eBay account yet, again, as I'm actually shooting this video. But I thought I would share this, another really cool pen. If you aren't following Bobby on his Etsy account, definitely follow him. It's worth following him. Now I'm going to move on to another pen, and this is a pen that you can pick up through a lot of different resources, but I actually have already ordered one, and ChrisRap52 has already posted a video review of this pen, but I still wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to post an image up here, but this is the Moonman M600S. Now, a lot of us know, so Moonman is, in my opinion, they've been doing a lot of awesome things recently. And, you know, we all know about the M6, the C1, and now we're going to have this pen as well. And I really am excited about this pen. I just received mine, and I actually, the image that you see here, that kind of bluish green color, that's the one that I got, and I'll show it to you guys here in a moment. Now, they did release the M600, I don't know, probably a few months ago. And that's in that really beautiful checkered or grid pattern material. And of course, this pen is kind of an homage pen to the Parker Dual Folds Centennial, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this one is different than the original 600. The biggest difference is obviously the clip design. This one, the 600S, has an arrow clip design. Post another image up here for you as well. And then in addition to that, obviously the material is different. The other ones were checkered materials. This one's going to be just, again, different colors and different patterns. But another big difference is the nib as well. So now we have the branded Moonman nib, and it looks like all the pens are going to come with a two-tone Moonman nib, unlike the C1. So it's going to be closer to like the M6 nib that you saw. Now, let's take this image down, and I'll actually show you my pen real quick, just so everyone can see it. I got this from Bobby. It was about $23 minus shipping. Shipping for him is only $1 on his Etsy account, so I paid 24 bucks for this pen. I've seen it going around $25 to $30. But here is the pen, and I just think that the pen is gorgeous. That material has some nice chatoyancy. You know, we've got that kind of arrow clip there. It's a nice size pen, great pen for work. You know, I think it's very elegant, very professional looking, like a dual fold, I think. Now, and then of course you take it off and you have that nib as well. Get the camera to kind of focus. So you see that two-tone Moonman nib. So this pen, while you know, it isn't that beautiful checkered pattern that you see on the original M600. I think it's very nice. It's cheaper. So your M600s are going to be around $50 to $65, depending upon where you get them. Those come with a Schmidt nib, whereas this one you get that Moonman nib. I really like that part about it. If you're not wanting to spend, you know, 50, 60 bucks on a pen, this would be a great option. Just going to post a couple more images up here. Again, there you can kind of see a close-up of the nib in the section. And then talking about some different colors, this is the one that ChrisRap52 just did a review on, this really pretty brown color. I think it's very elegant, very attractive. Here's a little bit better image of it uncapped, and you can kind of really see the depth to that material come through on this image. They do have a third color, and I'll post that up real quick. Here's this one. This one's kind of unique. It's got a lot of different colors in it, white, black, brown, just a lot of different things. This material is very similar to the Moonman S3, at least it looks the same. There's a Moonman S3 color that is literally, I think, the same type of acrylic as this. But I think it's a really nice pen. One thing I was surprised just holding this pen, I have not inked it up, I literally got it in the mail today, is it has a very nice weight to it. It's not overly heavy, but it feels nice. It feels substantial in the hand, which seems to be kind of the theme right now with a lot of the Moonman pens. They just feel like good writing materials. Not too light, not too heavy. They just feel nice in the hand. And this pen is no exception. We'll see, you know, of course I'm going to do a review on it. We'll ink it up and I'll do a review on it. All right, moving on. So Penbbs has now launched 2 new pens. They just, as I'm reviewing this, they just got launched, I think a couple days ago, or as I'm doing this video. So the first one I'm going to share, posting the image up here, is the Penbbs 268. So this is supposed to be considered the little sibling to the 456. So it's supposed to be a little bit smaller in stature. I've already ordered mine. Now this is a clear acrylic demonstrator fountain pen. So it's a lot like the 456 clear that I reviewed a while back. So that's another reason why I wanted to get this one, to really do that sizing comparison between the two and just see what differences and also similarities there are between the two pens. But it's another vacuum filler. I mean, it kind of stinks that Penbbs got this launch before that Wing Sung's coming out, but this one is still a little bit more expensive. I think with shipping and everything, I paid around $23 for it. Now, it is listed on the Penbbs official store for around $16.99. So if you're wanting to get more than one pen, you can combine that shipping. So the shipping kind of gets spread out between, you know, 3 or 4 pens, depending upon how many you buy. So it won't cost as much. Now, I just bought the one pen at the time, so I paid again around $23. I've seen it listed on eBay and other places for anywhere between $23 to $30, $40. I don't know if they're gonna have other colors released yet. I haven't seen anything. You know, maybe if any of you have, comment down below. But right now I have just seen this acrylic version. Here's another image of it. Again, just kind of showing off the actual pen. Looks like the shape of the pen is about the same as your standard 456. I can tell there might be some subtle differences with it. And obviously one of the things brought up was the actual size of the pen. At least from most of the images I've seen, it looks like it's going to come with that standard Penbbs fine nib. I'm posting another image up here for you so we kind of see different angles with the pen, from the clip to the nib to the section. Here's a really good close-up of the nib as well as the section. It'll be interesting to see if the section is smaller as far as dimensions and girth than the regular 456. I feel like that the 456 is a comfortable pen to write with, has some good weight to it, the section's comfortable. So it'll be nice to see if this pen kind of fits into that same mold, or is it just going to be a lot smaller. So we'll just have to see what it is like when go to use it. And I'm going to post one more image up here. This is just kind of seeing the pen posted. Again, you can see the nib very well, the section, and just kind of the pen in its posted form. The 456 obviously posts very well. It's not a pen I generally write with posted, but it does post well. Does kind of throw off the balance a little bit though, because it's very elongated. So maybe this one, if it's a little bit shorter, maybe it will be a little bit more comfortable, at least for me in particular, writing with it posted. So definitely check it out. I'm excited to get mine when it comes, so can't wait for that. All right, moving on to the next pen that we have, and that is actually another Penbbs pen, and that's the 352. So this one was a little bit weird. So when I first saw it on Instagram, it looked like, and of course it was listed as a 352, it looked like it was going to be the smaller version of the 355, and in a way it kind of is. It was a little bit deceiving because if you looked at some of those images, you could actually see it almost looked like it had a blind cap on the back of the pen. And you can actually see some threads, and you'll see that in some of these images. But in fact, this pen is just a cartridge converter pen, and I say that some people may like that more. So I think there's a couple pros and cons there. I mean, if you're wanting a smaller version of the 355 bulk filler, well, you're not going to get that. But if you didn't like that filling system, and I know some of you did not, but you like the overall pen design and shape of it, or the idea of it, this might be a good option for you. Here we see it in a beautiful blue acrylic. This is one of my favorite acrylics I've seen it in, this green kind of transparent cracked version. And here you can kind of see what I was talking about those threads at the end of the barrel. It almost looked like that had a blind cap. So at first I was thinking, okay, this is neat. They're having kind of a maybe a little bit smaller version of the 355, but in actuality, it is same design as far as those flat ends and everything, but it's a cartridge converter. Now, if you're not a huge fan of the 308 or the 266, those, you know, kind of Schaefer torpedo pins, this might be another option for you. If you really like cartridge converter pins, you like Penbbs acrylics, but you would want to do something a little bit different, this would be a really cool pin. Here's another color, kind of that blue purple acrylic. This one, obviously, you can tell it has a medium nib. I've seen it in the fine nib as well as a medium nib. So this will give you another option. This was the original color I saw on Instagram. So again, if you're big into that color acrylic, there's a lot of them out there. Here's this one here, and in that same acrylic that we saw on Bobby's pin. And again, I think this one actually, yep, this one has a fine nib on it. So again, different nib size, different color acrylic. Here we see it in a kind of cloud look. I don't remember the exact name of this acrylic, but I think it's a nice acrylic. This one's actually a little bit cheaper as well. So if you like that transparent look to it, it gives you another option. And I'll post one last pick up here. Here we see it in that koi pattern. I think this acrylic is beautiful, very attractive. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. Just gives you another option. And there's even more colors that I've seen online. These are just 6 different ones that I wanted to post to kind of, you know, give you the idea of what they look like. Now, when we talk about pricing for them, it looks like pricing is going to be anywhere between $30 to $40, so a little bit more on the higher end. And it also depends upon what acrylic you get and what seller you buy it from. There are more sellers that have this pin listed right now than just the Penbbs official store. Shop around. I would say typically Penbbs official store is a little bit cheaper, but I'm not going to say that it's always that way. So shop around. It is available, I've seen on eBay as well as Etsy. So just look at that, and always remember to check to see what the shipping cost is for the pin, because that is going to obviously factor into the final price of the pin as well. Now, as far as all of those pins go, that was really primarily what I have to share with you guys as far as newer pin finds and things that I've seen so far. Now, a couple other things I've gotten in the mail just recently, so kind of transitioning over to that. So I showed you the Moonman 600S. I also got another 456, and this one I'm very excited for. If any of you remember seeing my last eBay Etsy pin find, I talked about the 456 model and all the different colors. Well, this one I ordered, and this is that symphony color, and oh my goodness, this is really attractive in person. And I know this acrylic may not be for everybody, but I think it has the best of a lot of worlds. It's transparent, so you can see the ink. It has a lot of depth to it, and you really almost have to see it in person. But like inside of the acrylic barrel here, it looks like it's thicker than what it actually is. It's just really, really attractive. Of course, I have this in my little pin rest. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this pin. I enjoy my other 456, so I wanted to add this to my collection. Now, what ink am I going to put in it? Well, I actually ordered a new ink. I need to add to my ink collection. I've been buying a lot of pins, but not enough ink, and I feel like I use the same inks too much. And so I finally bought some Mont Blanc ink, and this one is the Toffee Brown. My first Mont Blanc ink, and of course, I love their ink bottles. I think they're attractive and really cool. I've already used this ink. I put it in my Parker Sonnet, and I will say I like it. I like it a lot. I went back and forth on what I was going to get. I couldn't make up my mind, and this one, for some reason, popped up on my Amazon Prime, and I thought, you know what? I've seen people use this ink in other pen reviews, and I thought it was a really attractive brown ink, so I went for it. So I really like it in my Sonnet, and I'm thinking about putting that in that Symphony fountain pen, but we'll see what happens. Now, in addition to that, so I'm kind of torn on my next. I don't know how many pins I'm going to be buying over the next few weeks or the next month or so, because I have a little bit larger pin purchase that I'm saving up for right now. Once I do that, I will of course let everyone know, and I'll even do a review on the pin. Pretty excited for the pin. It'll be something unique that I've never had before. But there are some pins out there that I'm interested in trying out as well. Of course, I'll still have the Penbbs pins coming as well to review. One pin I did want to get some feedback from some of you is a pin that I've been going back and forth on. It is kind of a little bit more of an investment when you talk about pricing for, like, say, a Chinese fountain pen. But one of the pins that I've been interested in for quite some time is the Hero H718. I've been considering that pin for quite some time. I know Wasky Squirrel has done a review on it. I've seen probably, I think, 3 or 4 positive reviews on it. One of the things that attracts me to that pin is, I think the design's a little bit unique. Obviously, I know it is an homage pin to, I think, the Mont Blanc 1912, and if I'm wrong on that, you can correct me. But I think it's different, of course, but I think one of the things is the nib. Just how well it has, every review I've seen, that the nib's been a big call out to me anyways. So any of you that may own that pin already, please share your comments down below on what your opinions are of it, if you like the pin, because it is a little bit more expensive. There are some places that you can get it for around $65. I know Bobby has it available for, I think, in the mid 70s. So again, it's a little bit more expensive. The other one that I've been contemplating is the Moonman M600. I love those acrylic materials. Chris Rap 52's review of that pen was amazing. And anytime he brings it into one of his videos, I keep saying, I really need to get that pen. I really need to get that pen. But it's another standard Schmidt nib in there. And yes, I can switch the nib out to like a Yovo nib if I wanted to. But I feel like the Hero H718 is a little bit more unique in the sense of from the writing perspective, and that would be maybe more what I'd be looking at. So you guys share in your comment section if any of you have both pins or one or the other. Just, you know, share what your opinions are of them if you like them. But that really concludes this video. I'm going to be working on a video with 456 over the next couple days. I'm going to pick an ink for it. I'm going to switch out the nib actually and do a different nib in it. So I'll incorporate that with the video, and then of course I'll have the M600S out probably middle of next week at the latest. Everyone, take care. Thank you for joining me again on this crazy video series that I'm doing. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are as well. Any pins that you see that you want me to share on here, definitely comment. I have been putting my email in the description, at least when I remember to. You can always shoot me an email as well. Follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a direct message on Instagram and let me know, hey, I saw this pin. Think it would be a great thing to share with the pin community. I'd be more than happy to do it. Until next time, bye-bye.